don't do that shit. Don't be a statist jackass and cite law at somebody because you're a fucking little statist bitch.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, that's the kind of vibe. Johnny triggered me right before. Yep. I mean, we were having such this beautiful,
little Buddhism,
like, really getting into it, and then fucking we started talking about statist
fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like what you're saying is, don't quote law to me. Well, most laws, right? They're what? They're voted upon, or they are just passed down to you because the elected officials say so.
Yeah, the people who are supposed to represent us come up with these fucking ridiculous laws. And then put them on the books, and we're all subject to this law,
which goes into our voting.
Right? Yeah, it goes in.
Concept.
Then we vote for the tyranny that we impose on each other.
All government is force. It's funded by taxation, which is force. Voting is force because it's imposing your will on people, and all laws are force.
Yeah, it's all force, man. It's all. I mean, it takes somebody to enforce that law too, and if you don't conform to that law, then you're going to jail. You know, like you can't. You're not supposed to fight back. Like we're all supposed to just, be submissive.
Well, so it's like, okay, so you can't own a certain drug, or you can't own a certain tool, a weapon,
right?
Without a permit, or without this, or whatever, right?
Right.
That's force. You can't. You're imposing your will against the individual because they're too stupid. Right?
Yeah.
To protect themselves. So you need this thing called government, which is made up of what? Individuals, a bunch of them, that now know more than you, supposedly, to keep you in line.
Yeah, I mean, we're all cogs in the machine, man. We're all here to produce for the government. I mean, it's no joke how much we're getting ripped off by the government, you know.
Be a tax slave.
Yep.
Look at this shit.
Yeah, we work every day. Get up, you choose your profession, you go to it, you try to be productive as possible, but all you're doing is you're just part of the mill. You're just part of.
But you're free, Chris.
Yeah,
freedom, bro.
Yeah, not so much.
Not as much freedom as you think.
No, I mean you
can't do anything, right? Really,
mean, try to go fishing on a public lake without a permit. You know, you're not a free person.
Yeah, a lot of places try growing plants in your front yard that produce fruit or veggies.
Right. You can't do that either. Yeah.
There's you can't collect rainwater in certain areas. You can't. Pretty much anything.
There's a lot of can'ts in this world.
Right. Yeah.
There are way too many for my fucking.
Right, and they always tell you don't say can't.
Yeah. No.
But it's cool when the government does.
No, it's cancer.
From a bunch of cuntsers.
Cuntsers from a country of people.
Okay, now we're reaching. I was just going to keep going down the rabbit hole, literally. And the next thing we know, we were on Pornhub.
Right.
What the hell?
And we are on Pornhub.
Oh, and
check
we
us
are.
out.
Yeah, check us out on Pornhub and other social media sites such as Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the Twitter.
Patreon. We are on Patreon.
Yeah. SoundCloud.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, Facebook, and YouTube are our main.
Yeah, that's where you'll catch us.
That's the best.
Yeah, we need some feedback from you guys. We need you guys to recommend some shows and all that kind of good stuff. We want you guys involved.
Our other boys are sick, so we just decided to do a little. You were sick too,
yeah? I was sick. I was sick for like 5-6 days.
I'm sick as fuck, yo.
Yeah. Oh, damn. I totally saw Limp Bizkit right there.
No. Are you trying to bring the cunt and nookie thing together right now? Are you still reaching?
I did it all for the politics.
No, that's poisonous music.
Yeah, it is.
So speaking of poisonous music, the government controlling us and society all trying to put us into a box. What I meant by the music is I don't know if it's necessarily government, but society puts out a certain style of music at a certain time, because you can just go back and look at all the different styles of music that are popular for the 5-year span, 10-year span, right? So the 80s, 90s, maybe half that time, 5-year span. But there's always something, grunge, whatever it is, right?
Some movement,
sure,
right?
Yeah, whatever it is, dubstep. No, that never was a thing.
I don't know. Skrillex is pretty popular, man.
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying. I don't speak Chinese. So anyways, why is it though that like so we could say that some of the styles, for instance, like when the hippie movement came out, well, there was drugs, there was a their own version of freedom movement at the time,
right?
What they thought was the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be like something. Punk rock got born out of fuck all this crap that we're being spoon-fed from the hippies and
the disco,
and the disco, the hippies, bullshit, and the big stage rock bands. Like, hey, we just want to be a regular Joe playing fucking music in a garage and playing at a little venue, and rebelling against against the system.
Right.
That's where that was born from.
Even though a lot of like if you listen to a lot of like the older punk, it's more like kind of like that rockabilly.
It's
style.
A throwback to rock and roll because that's exactly what it is. They wanted to get away from the big bands and all the acid rock and all the stadium rock that was going on and the
and
hippie
to like
stuff.
A 3-piece.
And keep it simple. Go back to the original roots of rock and roll.
Right.
Which is like when we were playing the little Cramps thing, the interview from Lux, the vocalist. We heard all about that.
Yeah.
Rock and roll and rock are two different things.
I mean, it's just all made to,
it's to put everyone in
to get you to conform.
Put you in a cookie cutter world.
Like that's the way big business advertises to us.
Right. Don't you think it's easier to control people when they're all in the same, 2 or 3 boxes? You know what I mean? Right. Versus having all these individuals that there is no box because they're all over.
You're a tax slave. You're a consumer slave.
Conformist.
You're a conformist. Mm-hmm. So you have to pay your taxes and you have to buy what the TV tells you.
And you think so? You're being raised. Most of you are being raised in a government school, being put in certain religious institutions. Right. Always being taught that the government is your dad.
Like always conforming to the rule. Whatever rule is told to you, people just they won't challenge the rule.
Right.
I've never been the kind of guy to say okay. I've always been the kind of guy that'll be like
question it.
This doesn't sound right.
Question it or just say no.
Yeah, or just flat out say no. No. But I think that's from really young. I mean, you start learning rules right away. Like
I always question everything.
Stand in line, sit here, go over there, pace this here. I mean, ever since kindergarten, you're always learning some kind of somebody's rule. Mm-hmm. You're always following somebody's rule,
right? And
it's just to me, it's just an indoctrination to follow all your life because people just follow the rules and don't create waves. And we can't do that this weekend, honey. We have church or whatever.
Yeah. While you're growing up and you're going through the schools, the churches, the listening to your parents and all that. I'm not saying don't listen to your parents. I'm just saying that you are all being brainwashed consistently.
Yeah, we're all being
through a
brainwashed.
cycle. And then when you graduate, then you have to go to university. You have to do all these things, right? Well, what are they doing there? They're still consistently brainwashing you.
Right.
They're still pumping down the same shit.
And it's all coming from the left.
Majority of it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's just, once you get to university,
But I think it steps above that because it really is about the state.
Yeah, it really is.
And once again, when we say state, we mean government.
Yeah, we
mean statism.
The whole bang.
Yeah.
The whole shebang.
And that's what it's doing. It's just training you to conform and to produce and stay in the same cycle to fund taxes.
It's a way to lock you into the system. You're now part of the paperwork. You're part of the documentation. Right. You're like, And
what do they always say? They always say, well, if it's not this, then what other form is it? What else can we do?
Fucking freedom.
Freedom, bro.
Yeah.
We say it all the time. We don't have all the answers. We just know right and wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I know I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
I know, as long as, somebody doesn't have a gun on me or is forcing me to do something, I'm going to be productive.
Well, think about it.
I got to take care of myself.
Majority of your life, you're doing your own thing. You're not. You have to go to the DMV. These stupid things that are always like, oh my God, I got to go do. You know what I mean? Why?
Yeah.
Why can't you just have a car and buy insurance so if you do get in an accident, you have your ass covered?
Right. Well, pretty
simple.
Yeah. I wouldn't require insurance for anybody.
No, I didn't say require. I said as a smart person, you were driving a car without just say that there was no license. I'm a smart
person. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying there's no licenses, right?
Yeah, right.
And you're driving around your own car that you purchased, right? And you're not paying any bills on it or anything like that. You're driving that around and you get in an accident. Well, if you don't have a lot of capital, you don't have a lot of money,
right?
You can't pay for it. So then you would buy insurance, right?
Of course.
So and insurance is the same way it should be for healthcare. Yeah. You shouldn't be forced to have it.
No.
You should be able to go out and buy it. Right. It is insurance for your own health.
It's not a right. I don't think it should be a right. I don't think that it should be free and for everybody. I mean, so who pays the doctors then if it's free for everybody?
You.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know where the money is coming from, but what's to give the doctors any incentive to do an excellent, outstanding job if their case loads?
They don't, because everything's set up right to be like we're cattle.
Right,
everything,
and we are cattle. We're
fitting in those boxes.
We're tax slaves.
Mm-hmm.
We're tax slaves and we're consumer slaves. The TV tells us what to buy, and the government takes our money.
Well, and then that goes into from the music to the social media. Right. That goes into the TV. That goes into your shows on Netflix, whatever.
Right.
Everything's pumping out. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. And in like when your guys like Chris and Johnny Doe, and you start questioning, whether or not this is right or it should, if we are really free people, then the statists start.
Statists got a state, bro.
Statists start fucking citing laws and rules, and
most laws are immoral.
Don't be that fucking person, man. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about things like how to change something? You got to do it. We got to do it from a moral perspective. We can't do it from a political perspective.
We can keep those morals real simple and real tight focused.
Right.
They don't have to be that crazy, like what we talk about the non-aggression principle, and we talk about property rights.
But then we get into like all the what about fairness, and what about this person has more than that person.
Freedom is not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair. That life is not fair. I mean, you might as well get used to it.
Newsflash. Life is not fair.
In all of your search to make everything fair, you're making it more unfair to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have to pay more taxes so people can get so people can have a government iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
That to me it's mind blowing. Like now I'm being treated unfairly because President Obama thought it was a good idea to give people a way to communicate.
They try to push the communications, the internet. They try to push housing. They try to push everything as it's right.
Yeah, it's
and
wrong.
Why do it?
It's wrong.
Right, healthcare, everything. So why do they do that though? Because they want you to sign on to that, so therefore they can continuously tax you, increase your taxes, and then they can control you.
Instead of 30%, they'll be taking 60%.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of people who go, "That's fine."
Yeah. Oh yeah. There'll be tons of people who say that's fine.
It's your duty to pay taxes, is what they will say.
Yeah. Well, and then the prices of housing goes up because we have all these laws and rules around housing now. So it makes it impossible to build anything new. We create a housing crisis. Now we have to tax the people more because there's so many displaced people, and we have to feed everybody. I mean,
where does it stop?
It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't. It doesn't ever end.
It's a cancer.
Yeah.
Government is a cancer.
Government is absolutely cancer, and it metastasizes when we try to make everything fair.
Oh yeah.
Would you say that's true?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, equality and fairness. Those are the two things that you hear all the time from the state. Not even just the leftists. Leftists trumpet it, and definitely the right wing try to act like they're not about that, but they are. Because then they'll be like, well, who's going to protect us?
Well, shit, they're the same party, man. I mean,
it's the same thing.
Let's just be honest.
They're two different wings of the same bird.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's the same party. Yeah. I mean, they both want taxation.
There's a big, fat, stupid, bald eagle, and one side, it's the body is the state, and each wing is the right and left.
Right.
It's that simple.
They all want the same thing. They want
control.
Keep
their money coming
in. And power. That's it.
That's
it.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, so I feel
it's kind of hard to blame one side when like both sides are equally as responsible. I mean, both sides have been around since the beginning of the country.
Right. And the gun control is on both sides. Right. Just one side wants to banish them, the other one wants to control it.
Right. It just it's all the same thing when it comes down to it. It just all goes back to one single-mindedness, is control of the people.
Yeah, control and get your money.
Yep.
Or their money, I should say.
Oh, yeah.